With the second installment of A Noob's Perspective, we'll be diving into what is widely known as one of the 2 worst zombie maps on Black Ops 4. But these videos are unbiased and based off my genuine reaction alone when playing it and after beating the map's Easter eggs. And what I say during the video may be a surprise to some people. If you haven't seen my last video based around the map 9, I would really recommend you give that video a watch because it'll dive into what this series is really about. But to quickly sum it up, I am not a noob to zombies, but more or less to Black Ops 4 zombies. Every Easter egg I do for these maps I have never done before, and after I complete each one, I will give my breakdown and analysis of it. But now back to Voyage of Despair. The map is based around the Titanic, and in theory, it should be a really cool map, but after its release, people had many problems with it. You just spawn on one side of the ship and you have to make your way over to the other side to interact with the Sentinel artifact. Once you interact with it, turn on all 4 Pack-a-Punch pedestals and then you go into the actual Easter egg. The first step to this Easter egg is probably one of the most hated Easter egg steps I have seen in a while. If you don't know what it is, you basically find 4 triangles around the map within 6 locations, and by each one of them will be a clock. You then have to remember, or as most people do, you just write it down somewhere, what time each clock by each triangle gives you. Then up by the captain's deck are 4 circular levers with a triangle symbol on them. Correspond the minute hand of each triangle's time to its respective lever. Then go by where you get the Sentinel artifact and input the hour hand of the triangles with a line through them. Lastly, go under the poop deck to the turbine room, and in the middle, you can interact with 2 more levers which corresponds to the regular triangles. This step is definitely difficult to understand on your first go at it, but once you have an understanding of what to do with this step, it is actually pretty easy. I think people just like to bitch and complain about having to do this solo while keeping a zombie, but if you have Winter's Wail, it makes this step stupid easy. Just let your solo zombie get frozen and do the levers. If Winter's Wail wasn't a thing, it would be a bit harder, but even then, it is still super easy. It is kind of annoying to search for all the triangles and write the times down though, so I give this step a 4 out of 10. The next step for the map is the outlet step. All you have to do is find 4 outlets on the map out of 6 spawn locations, and they will be spewing a certain element out of them. Kill a specific catalyst zombie next to the outlet that corresponds to what element is coming out of it, and an orange ring will spawn on the ground. After you kill all 4, you've done the first half of this step. This part is super easy, but the really annoying part is you can only do 1 outlet per round, which made this step kinda stupid. Next, in the order acid, water, electric, fire, you stand on each ring and it'll teleport you to a lockdown step, where you have to kill a bunch of these type of zombies. It's really not that difficult, especially if you have a Kraken that just one-shots every zombie. The step is really annoying though, based off the fact that you can only kill 1 zombie per outlet every round, so for that reason, I give it a 5 out of 10. The next step is super easy, you just have to upgrade the Kraken to the acid variant, which you get the part for by killing an acid zombie with the Kraken and picking it up. It does cost 6,000 points to upgrade, which is kind of ridiculous, but all you have to do is shoot 9 pipes with the acid Kraken down in the turbine room. Water will fill the area up, and then the Pack-a-Punch will spawn there once you end the round to cool the Sentinel artifact. Side note, when I got to this step the first time, I was watching Glitch's tutorial and he says just kill your zombie. I guess I killed it way too fast because the room hadn't filled up with water yet and the Pack-a-Punch spawned somewhere else.
Let's all stay calm. We can use this to our advantage.
Huh. Nevertheless, this step is super easy except for having to upgrade the Kraken to the acid variant, which made no sense to me. Why do I have to have the acid variant? Why not the fire or ice? I don't know, it just didn't make much sense to me unless acid somehow corrodes the pipe to make them burst, I guess. I don't know, it's an easy step but a stupid one. I give it a 4 out of 10. The next step is the planet step and is widely regarded as the stupidest step of this Easter egg, and I kinda have to agree. You find 9 little symbols around the map to activate each planet in the sky, and then interact with this model of the solar system in the cargo hold area to start the step. The model will flash planets one at a time corresponding to the order in which you have to shoot them down. And I know the first people to get to this step were panicking watching the planets light up, especially since they were probably in a co-op game where you can't pause to write the order down. But in solo, just pause between each planet that lights up and find a picture that tells you what planet is what and write the order down. Then go up on the ship and shoot each planet down in that order and pick up the little orbs that spawn afterwards. The only issue I have with this step is not that it's hard, but I genuinely just don't understand what the hell the point of this step is. How the hell do planets correlate with the Titanic? Why am I shooting them down? What do I do with these orbs? I just have so many questions. This step is a 2 out of 10. It's simple because of how dumb it is. If it was hard, I'd give it a 1 out of 10, no question. But it's pretty easy once you've done it a couple of times. The final step before the boss fight is after you pick up the sun orb and spawn. You have to make your way to the side of the boat where the Sentinel artifact was originally, but there are gigantic blocks of ice blocking your way. All you have to do is spam the blocks of ice with the Kraken or Helion Salvo, whatever you have, and they will eventually break. You do get a max ammo halfway through, thankfully, or this step would be pretty much impossible. There's about 8 blocks of ice. I can't remember honestly, but I'm not going to go count them. But once you get to the other side of the boat, destroy the last block of ice, and the portal to the boss fight will open. Oh yeah, also this step is on a timer, so don't be slow as hell doing it. But I've never failed based on the timer. You're also fighting endless zombies during this. A Blightfather will come at some point to hunt you down, as well as a couple of Stokers. So you better be quick or you're just dead. This step would have been fine had it been a normal round, but no, you're just getting lit up by zombies from every direction trying to shoot the ice. Thankfully, you can use your specialist weapon to destroy these blocks of ice also, but this step sucks. I give it a terrible 3 out of 10. Lastly is the boss fight, which, oh god, this one is actually kind of tough. You just swim to this tree in the iceberg, place the Sentinel artifact, wait about 30 seconds for the iceberg to start floating, and a gigantic eyeball will spawn. Yeah, that's the boss. You fight 2 waves of zombies and then 3 waves of the boss. The 2 zombies waves were pretty easy, just murder everything with the Kraken, or like I showed in the last video, the Helion Salvo is busted, just use that. Once you've beat those 2 rounds, you'll spawn in this tight ass area with 2 hallways where the eyeball will shoot its laser at you. This to me was the hardest phase. Bro, this fucking shit is terrible, man. Wait for it to shoot its laser and annihilate it with your Helion Salvo, and after about 8 to 10 shots from it, you'll beat the phase. Except wait, yeah, there are a shit ton of zombies coming to mess with you the entire time. I died here at least 2 to 3 times before I was able to beat it. Third done. Then you spawn on the side of the ship where you replicate the last phase, just shooting it while it tries to shoot you. But you have more room to run here, so it's not that difficult. Lastly, we have the poop deck area again, which is where you fought the first phase of zombies. Before I fought this, I heard about how we can instantly kill you during one of its attack, but literally just train around the poop deck, and once it's about to attack, just run to the front. Hit it 4 to 5 times with the Helion Salvo and go back to training. I didn't even go down once here. This fight would probably be much harder without the salvo, but regardless, it's still bad. A 3 out of 10. To wrap up the video, I want to go over a few things like I did with 9. One thing I haven't mentioned yet is a pretty cool side Easter egg to get a guaranteed Kraken. Just kill a Stoker to get its key and unlock 3 treasure chests. The last one will tell you where to go to get the free weapon, and I thought this was pretty cool. Also, the Easter egg as a whole was just a complete mindfuck. I genuinely don't understand a single aspect of this Easter egg. It just felt like we were doing shit because we could, not because it made any sense. I mean, we are on the Titanic, fighting a giant eyeball, shooting down planets, messing with clocks and levers, and shooting zombies next to electrical outlets. Where does any of this correlate? The only step I understood was the pipe step to make the turbine room flood. The Easter egg, while not too difficult, just doesn't make any sense. Now, one thing I will say that most people will probably disagree with, from what I've seen, is the map is actually cool to me. The layout is a bit confusing, but honestly, I like it. Having the grand staircase to be integral to get to certain part of the maps, having the 2 lower deck areas in the turbine room / engine room, and then the cargo hold. I like the map in itself, but it's just a shame that the Easter egg is kind of terrible. If we add all the scores up, we get a 21 out of 60 or a 35%. Yeah, this map failed hard, and if I had to rank it on a tier list, I'd probably put it at a high D tier. But if you enjoyed this Noob's breakdown of the map Voyage of Despair, please make sure to subscribe, like, and leave a comment. It would mean a lot. Also, I stream myself playing zombies almost every single day live on Twitch at twitch.tv/JPyzzle. Give me a follow there as well. The next map to get broken down will be Blood of the Dead, so I'll see you there.